I have a big idea. Bear with me as I lay this out. Enjoy the fire with me. So, I just got done watching episode 2 of The Winter Soldier. The very, very end of the scene, the very, very end scene is a man sitting in a high-tech jail cell. And on the bottom of the screen, in very horrible text, like a CCTV camera text, like a timestamp text, it said Zelle 1287 or something like that, and Cam 2. So it was clearly like a CCTV timestamp thing. But it said Zelle, Z-E-L-L-E. So that's German for cell. Guy was in a jail cell. Spelled Z-E-L-L-E. Now, I nearly jumped out of my seat because, now I've studied language and symbology for a lot of years. And I know how, at least I've got a really good understanding of how our language has been subverted through maritime law language, stuff like that. I'll get into that in a second. And the reason I bring that up is because Zelle, Z-E-L-L-E, really struck me because I just recently set up my bank account to accept electronic payments. And Zelle is connected with Bank of America. I had a customer that was very insistent. He said, I haven't written checks. I don't even have a checkbook. I've got no cash. He says, this is super easy. He says, all I need is your phone number. I can send you money. He says, all you got to do is jump on Zelle and sign up. He was right. It was ridiculously easy. It was unbelievably easy. In fact, it was easier to set up Zelle and connect them with my bank, because Zelle and Bank of America already have a deal. It was easier for me to set up that account and be connected and get my payment than it was to set up a Google account. It was by far, by a long shot, by 10 or 20 times easier than it was for me to set up my Coinbase account. So I just learned a few minutes ago that the word Zelle, which is the app that my bank is connected with, which allows electronic payments, Zelle, Z-E-L-L-E, means cell in German. Now, I understand language and how our language has been tinkered with, and I found it pretty interesting that, for instance, the World Wide Web, it's a web, we're all caught in it. How about the internet? It's a net, which nets catch things. How about banking? Because we're talking about banking. Before I go to banking, how about mortgage? You have a mortgage on your house. It's spelled M-O-R-T, mortgage, M-O-R-T-G-A-G-E. It's a very odd spelling for such a word, mortgage. But when you die, where do you go? You go to the morgue. And who deals with you is the mortician. Or you go to the mortuary. And if you're immortal, then you live forever. Mort. So your mortgage is a contract of death. This is one of the ways that our language gets messed up and subverted. And this harkens back to maritime banking laws, where when a ship pulls into a harbor or a port to offload its cargo, what is the space that it takes up? The space it consumes is called its berth. Ships are always female, and it's because they travel on water. Ships travel in canals, and so does water, like the berth canal. And when a ship pulls into a harbor or a port to offload its goods, there's required a certificate of manifest, which documents everything that comes off of that ship. And that's why you and I have a berth certificate, because a ship parks in her berth and offloads its cargo. And when the cargo is offloaded, it's considered manifest, which in other words, it's brought into being. So it wasn't here a minute ago, and now it is. All of a sudden, boom, manifest. Just like when you are born, you are manifest, and so you need a birth certificate, just like a certificate of manifest. And what do banks do? Was they hold back the river. And what is a river but a flow of current? And where does the current go? It goes to the sea. So it's currency. So the banks hold back the flow of currency. And this is where all this language subversion comes from. And it just struck me funny, like a ton of bricks, that I recently set up an account. Uh-oh, my fire's going out. I recently set up an account with Zelle. Let's see if I can get the light. I need some light. Oh, blow on it. So I recently set up an account with Zelle. And what is it? Zelle means? Well, it means cell, like a prison cell. So I'm not sure if I wanted to say anything else, but I found that a little bit profound. What do you think? Isn't that a cool shot? I mean, that right there alone. How about that? The evening sky through the roof of the gazebo. Pretty cool. So there are so many other points I could make about how language has been tinkered with. But before I let you go, I want you to think about contract law for a second. Basically, everything in the world runs on contract law. Everything, no matter what. Every single conversation, every marriage, every business deal, every employment, every sale of any product is by contract. You either give consent or you do not. All the way down to a simple conversation. So when you sign up, as I have, for a company called Zelle, which facilitates electronic payments and is already connected, has our deal, a contract with your bank. They're already connected, and it's super easy and super convenient. I guess I'm gonna have to have second thoughts on this one, and wonder if I'm gonna keep doing business that way. You know what I mean? Because did I enter into a contract where Zelle has me in a cell? That kind of thing? So with that, I'll leave you with this really cool shot of the ceiling of the gazebo with the dark blue evening sky. I just think that's really cool.